I agree that cronyism is bad, and I don't call it crony capitalism because it doesn't have anything to do with capitalism. It's just plain cronyism, or it's crony statism. It's an issue of corruption where some businesses like to try to lobby the government in order to get certain regulations passed that'll benefit them or hurt their competitors.
So what about the worst kind of bullying, which is when those who are already wealthy and already have a business use donating and lobbying to purchase the kind of legislation that is going to keep on benefiting them? That is what we have all over the place in the United States today.
Mm-hmm.
What do we envision as the solution to that problem?
Well, the solution can't be to do more regulations, which require more lobbying and more pull peddling like that, right? The solution can't be more of what caused the problem to begin with. So that's off the table. That's not a solution. The solution is to get rid of those regulations, get rid of those things that caused those corrupt crony type relationships to begin with. I agree that cronyism is bad, and I don't call it crony capitalism because it doesn't have anything to do with capitalism. It's just plain cronyism, or it's crony statism. It's the state and certain businesses. I'm not going to say big business because it's not every big business, and it's not as if only big business does it. Small businesses do it too. So it's not an issue of size. It's an issue of corruption, where some businesses like to try to lobby the government in order to get certain regulations passed that'll benefit them or hurt their competitors, and that's corrupt. It's bad. But I'll also point out that the government has set up things in such a way that you can't succeed without kissing their boots, without paying them homage through bribes and lobbying and through all kinds of other things. And so in some ways, it's not entirely the fault of the business people that are sort of in bed with the government, although it's hard to tell, right? Well, once you get the cycle going, it's hard to tell, is the business just doing this to survive, or are they sort of just paying off the government? Here's the question to ask. Any given businessman who's in bed with the government, who's paying for certain regulations or paying politicians through lobbying and things like that, here's the question. Does he prefer a free market? Is it the case that he would prefer not to have to deal with the politicians at all? He would prefer to just compete against his competitors in a completely free market and not have to deal with the politicians at all. If that's the case, then he's moral, and he's just doing what he needs to survive, just to an extent. However, if it's the case that he actually likes this setup, he likes that there's regulations, that there's ways for him to pay off politicians in order to cheat the system, then he's a crony and he's evil. Okay, that's the way to kind of gauge it, and it's hard to tell because unless you get a chance to actually sit down and talk to one of these guys, which you're probably not going to get to. But the point is, the way to get rid of it is to get rid of the regulations, get rid of the government's ability to pick winners and losers, get rid of the government's ability to have any sort of pull in the marketplace, and then the best business will win, and you don't have to worry about these backroom deals.